Welcome to the first match of the finals of the EVNT Championship. I'm Mythical Hawk, joined by Alexei Aksan, and we're here to do the Templis versus Sudden Otters match. So, looking at the teams right now, we see the Sudden Otters coming in, their entire team at 50. They're sitting at range, they're ready to rock and roll, and we're just waiting for the match to get underway just now. Alexei, why don't you tell us about the Templis team here?
Well, Templis team have split themselves up. They've got most of their support wing and their logistics sitting back at 50. Their battleship and their battlecruiser have come in at 20, though. They're looking to be very aggressive with these and probably try and get on top of that mega before it can kite away.
Yeah, exactly that. Myrmidon, that's got Scrum and Web, so if it gets on top of that Mega, which of course wants to kind of kite away, then that could start putting down a lot of damage and just hold it in position to allow that APOC to get in and get maximum DPS on it. Now, the match is underway now, and immediately we're seeing teams start to move around, start to position themselves. The Rifter of Randolph Sykes start to move off to the side, just sort of ready to get into a screening position as damage is being applied to Nikanoiser in the Executor by that APOC right now.
And we see that Griffin immediately burning sideways, trying to maximize its transversal as it spreads jams. Damage not particularly coming out from the Sudden Otters team yet. Potentially those jams are landing on the heavier targets.
Yeah, it looks like that is the case. The Griffin is taking a little bit of damage, but he must be getting a good few jams off on that Megatron, as there's just very little damage being applied to the Templis team right now. Although saying that, suddenly the Myrmidon is starting to take a huge chunk of damage, as potentially that is the Mega or even the Prophecy starting to get in about them, as the teams start to struggle to get into optimal and just apply the damage that they've brought to the field here.
Indeed, and we see swarms of light shield maintenance bots trying to keep that Griffin alive. They know that keeping that up is going to give them huge force multiplier as this game goes on. But at the moment, the teams are mainly just skirmishing around each other. That heavy
Yeah, we're seeing
front
some
line.
interesting positioning just now from the Sudden Otters team. So normally teams that bring the Prophecy along tend to use it essentially as either a heavy tackle or heavy screening. So really, a lot of teams would set that Prophecy between the Megathron of their side and the entire other team, but he's kind of leaving his pal in the Megathron behind. He's actually further away than the Megathron. So I don't know if he maybe wants to think about coming back down so he could pick up maybe that APOC which is starting to come in, or even that Myrmidon as it's going to get closer.
We see the Rifter went out there potentially trying to screen off that Apocalypse as it's coming in, but they're still not fully engaging yet. Damage is going down on the Merman and the Exec, and they're both taking some but not bleeding very quickly. This is going to break soon, but it's a question as to which way it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean we've seen less damage from the Sudden Otters side as some of the teams are being jammed, but at the same time, Templar's not really capitalizing on it. There's only a bit of damage going on to that Executor. He's starting to rep himself back up, and Templis are actually losing more EHP in that Myrmidon just now. With I guess that Augur not really being able to rep against all that damage. So that Griffin really needs to either jam some more things, or the Templis team need to get in and use that to their advantage and start jamming things and just taking advantage and killing things under that chance to get.
However, we see that Griffin has been tackled now. The Algos from Sudden Otters has got on top of it. Prophecy is coming to try and get on top of it as well. It's burning away now, but it was bleeding towards it's still bleeding towards low shield at the moment. If they lose this,
yeah, that is a big mistake by Stalins there in the Griffin, getting that close to allow himself to get basically tackled by a Prophecy and an Algos. He is starting to pull range, but he doesn't have a huge amount of buffer to play with here. He has low shields, so as he starts to burn away and just get out of danger, he's got hosts of drones chasing him down, so he can't afford to slow down and let them catch up. He's got to go fast.
At the same time, we see Nikanoiser's Executor has restabilized, but Savoy the Myrmidon is still slowly grinding down through that armor. If they lose him, that's going to be an armor link off the field. It's going to be softening up the rest of that team, potentially to more damage from Sudden Otters.
Yeah, getting that Myrmidon down would be a pretty good way to start. Now, he has been tackled by that Rifter at the moment, so he just can't really go anywhere, and there's maximum damage being applied by the Prophecy and the Megatron. Although he is starting to rep up a little bit. I think he he might survive if the Griffin gets off a couple of decent jams, stopping damage in that Mega. Obviously, it's not worth jamming the Prophecies. It's a drone boat, so the damage just keeps going on anyway. But if they can jam that Mega, which, as Lysis and Fuzzy said, that Griffin does have a Galenti jammer, so he does stand a good chance of jamming that Mega every so often. That's a big chunk of DPS that just stops, allows the Augur to get a couple of reps in, and starts to bring the armor back up on that Myrmidon.
We see damage. I think they were trying to break that Rifter for a while. It will stay very high under reps because you can't apply too much to it. But the Myrmidon, of course, able to tackle the Rifter while the Rifter was tackling it. It's going back onto that Executor, which is dropping low, but that Myrmidon really beginning to bleed low. It's probably been a few jams missed on that Megathron, full damage coming back out again, and we see what it can do.
Yeah, I think if that Myrmidon goes down first before any of the ships from the Southern Otters team, then we will see just the start of a snowball effect as the whole team just starts to fall apart. Well, once you lose your boost and you lose your heavy tackle and you lose a big chunk of damage, that's a huge blow for this team right now if that Myrmidon goes down. So they need to either get lucky with a couple of jams here, stop that DPS, get the reps landing and save that Myrmidon, or they need to kill something. Ideally, they could kill that Rifter and free up the Myrmidon, or even better, if we kill the Executor, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Indeed, somehow that Myrmidon, while tackled down, went and got tackled on the Executor. A surprising mistake, potentially, from Nick Noisy, one of the better Logi pilots in this tournament. And there we see the Myrmidon goes down.
Yeah, it's possible that the Griffin managed to jam off the Rifter who was tackling him, allowed that Myrmidon just to get a little bit of speed up, catch up with that Executor, who maybe wasn't expecting it. But yeah, without those links now, we're seeing the Dragoon, he's starting to go down. The Griffin, he's in low shield as well. Once that Dragoon's down, there's no tackle left. It's really just the APOC and the Griffin with an Augur support. And against the full team of Sudden Otters, that is a long, long shout right there.
It's actually going to be very painful for the Griffin if this Dragoon goes down, because it's going to be the Dragoon that's providing those rep bots, keeping it alive.
Yeah, you got to give props to the Templis team here. They really put a solid matchup against Sudden Otters, who are, I think, number 2 in the table just now. So this is a good win for Sudden Otters, assuming that they finish this match off. But I think Templis doing a really great job in this match to make it last so long and to really put Sudden Otters under a lot of pressure here. They really forced Sudden Otters to fly well and to it wasn't an easy match for them, especially under jams.
No, but this is the final weekend in Sudden Otters' team we have seen do so well, and pilots execute some very high technical skill level compositions. They've done it again today. They've shown what they can do, and having defanged that Griffin even, and got all of their DPS unlocked again, you've got to be odds on for them to clean this up.
Yeah, you really want to be, if you're Sudden Otters, you want to be thinking about the domination victory again. Every team wants the D in this tournament. It's an extra point, and that gives them a chance to start trying to catch up to Exodunks, which I'm not sure if the math works out that they can or cannot, but a domination victory is definitely going to help them get closer, or at least secure second place in the tournament today.
They are going to need it if they want to be gunning for that top spot, but they are challenged by the clock at the moment. They do not have much time to finish off this Templis team if they want that domination victory.
Yeah, so I'm being told by our little gremlins in the background that they need one domination win to get to the top spot. So they do have a bit of race against time here. 2 minutes left, and now basically Sudden Otters, if they are aware of this, they've less than 2 minutes to kill a Dragoon, an Augur, and an Apocalypse. So they are working quite hard on that Apoc, so he is going to go down, and that Augur is AB. So I do think they are going to pull this out, but there isn't a huge amount of time left. If that Augur can just keep that Apoc up for as long as possible, you might be able to prevent Sudden Otters getting that last point, which they need.
Indeed, we see curiously damage going almost everywhere when they're trying to break through this. It's probably an effort to stress Omar Jumper in that Augur. Keeping damage going everywhere means he has to work harder, and that's the Dragoon going down. The Apocalypse is managing to cling on at the bottom of its armor for now. But we see that Randolph Sykes' Rifter has gone out and it has grabbed that Augur, which is probably going to be the sign that they can properly finish this out. If that Augur can
that Augur
be
is
pinned
still
down.
quite far away from them. So, I mean, we're still just coming up in 1 minute remaining with the Apoc and the Augur still alive. If they don't finish off this Apoc and start working on this Augur very, very soon, they might lose their chance to get a domination victory here. Less than 50 seconds to go now. Apoc still alive. That Omar Jumper and the Ogre just doing an absolute stellar job keeping the last Spartan alive here. And the last Spartan goes down. So now 42 seconds for the Sudden Otters team to kill an Augurer to get a domination victory. If they do not kill this Augurer before this match ends, they do not get that extra point, and I don't think they can make it to the top spot of the tournament. This right now is the entire tournament for them. If they don't kill this Augurer in 26 seconds, they're not going to win.
Indeed, and that mega.
And now we're on to 20 seconds now, and that Augur's still alive. He's about a quarter armor. If he can hang on for 15 seconds, he's going to be single-handedly preventing Sudden Otters from getting to the top spot. About 10% armor now, 8 seconds to go. He is repping 7 seconds to go, 5 seconds, and he's hitting hull. Can he survive? He's half hull with 2 seconds to go, 1 second, and he survives. So that's not a domination victory. He's died just after the buzzer. So he died on 0 seconds, I think just about 1 second after. So as far as I can tell, that is not a domination victory for Sudden Otters. That means they go with 3 points, do not get the potential to go to first place. Great match. And yeah, I'm looking at local. I'm seeing that's been confirmed by the tournament tool saying that Sudden Otters did not get the domination victory. Very close. Omar Jumper there basically saving the tournament for Exodunks. Fantastic. Let's hand that one back to the studio.